Hello, Job Doer here, somewhere. In today's little video, if you can guess, there's some little nasty look in there, but hopefully it's maybe just some paint or something. I don't know. What we got here? Yes, another toilet. This particular toilet here, from what I understand, has suffered a fracture. You can see right there. Has a little drip, drip, drip from the handle. Oddest thing. Maybe someone flushed it too hard, who knows. Anyway, it's gonna go. Not only gonna go, but it's also gonna get, a coat of paint behind it. And a new toilet is gonna be in its place. And the new toilet is not like my last video. If you see my last video on the other toilet, then I showed you can basically take this top tank off if you want to do a good paint job in a room. And since this is a bathroom, it has a little semi-gloss paint usually to it. And so you want to sand it down, some buffing. And depending on what's behind there, you might want to do some primer. But and then you can paint over with new semi-gloss. But and then put the tank back on. Okay, I kind of skipped around there, but that's how you basically paint behind a toilet so it doesn't look like an amateur did it. Because a lot of times people can't get the brush behind the tank in the wall. And usually you can't see it, but sometimes you can. So anywho, this toilet's getting out of here. And what I'll be installing instead is a one-piece toilet. Right? Fascinating. It's all together. And probably heavy. So, join me on this little adventure in toilets. And, we'll see what happens here. But, to start with, this one's going to go. So, step one, which has already been done since it has a tank crack, is you turn the water off. If you don't have nice knobs like this, which is like a quarter turn off and on, and that doesn't leak, then make sure the other ones, you're really careful with them. If they don't free play with you, I mean you don't turn kind of easy, you might want to just skip the valve altogether and turn off the water supply to the house. Then, after you get that kind of going, you want to give it a flush, right? And that's going to flush the water through, and from the tank. There'll still be some water in the tank. In this case, there probably isn't. And then the tank's really held on by two bolts that go underneath on both sides usually. And then you can lift, and the water hose. Don't forget that. Unscrew your water hose before you lift the tank up and away. And so the tank's going to be up and away from there. And I'm going to do that real quick. If you want more detail on that, check out the other video I have on toilet. So I'm going to remove the tank. And so ta-da! It should look something like that if you get the tank removed. And as you can see, there's some kind of a tannish brownish color right there. The majority of that square. Then just a very fringe, there's like a light greenish over to the side. And then there's like a bluish, whitish, whatever this room is. Anyway, so what you got there is 3 different coverings supposedly. And before you go slap on your paint, take some sandpaper and kind of buff up, take the gloss off maybe. And just kind of buff it up a little bit with the sandpaper to get it so the new paint will stick. So it's basically, you buff it, you wipe it off some water, let it all dry, and then it's ready. It should be ready for your next coat, or your coat of paint. So I'm going to continue to sand up around this wall here some more. Now we'll get back to the toilet extraction. Okay, so toilet extraction. So at the base of the toilet there at the bottom, you got usually maybe a little cap, hopefully, like so. And what's in that cap? Have you ever seen before? Hopefully nothing too nasty, but just go ahead and do something like this and pop it off. And there should be a nut there, right? That's an acorn nut. Which those are for, safety, but at the same time, you can only tighten them down so far. So someone's either professional put this in, or didn't know how far they can tighten it, but I just undo this one here, and it has a washer there. And now, what we have left is nothing to hold it down, except for, yes, once again, this toilet has some silicone caulking around the base. And basically for that, I'm just going to use a rigid putty knife thing, scraper, and I'll try to get it like so. And if you need a little, a little hammer look to it, you just go ahead and tap the back end of it. They kind of help underneath it. I'm going to just kind of wing it and cut into the sides. But this, you don't want to gouge your flooring basically with your knife. But you can see I'm kind of breaking that seal. It kind of has a little bit of a lift to it. So I'm just going to work my way around it like this. And the other side, because not only does silicone hold it to the tile, the tile's held to it, so you can't actually, if you just grab this toilet and pulled, you probably could pull it up, but also pull up your tile flooring, and that's not what we want to do today. We just want to do some paint, maybe, and toilet. Alright, so let's continue to work my way around here. Okay, so we got that thing unsecured from the floor, and next we'll just bust out some ogre strength here and extract it. Find a nice place to put it on, which I suggest if you have a new one, you kind of unbox it already. Get the cardboard, and because the bottom of this could be a little messy, so you don't want this on your floor. You want some cardboard, something protective. And I usually just grab it from full of water. So I'll grab it from the back here a little bit. Kind of give it a pull, maybe from the front, and get the whole people! Alright, for me, I actually carried around to the bathtub very carefully. Luckily it's a resin or acrylic bathtub. Yeah, it's heavy. But I gave the water a little toss. Alright. Leave it there for now. I'll take it out a little bit. Look what we have left over. The wonders of science. So once again, that is a wax ring still. So maybe beeswax, something like that. And yes, once you get that thing off, sewer gases are allowed to come into your home. So you can put a rag over it, make sure your room's well vented. And then I like to take this here, we don't want that falling down. That's for sure. Just gonna take that and put in a cloth. Yeah. And save it for later. No, just kidding. Chuck this stuff. Okay, so we have this ring here. This might be a double ring too. There's one ring. Kind of chewed on a little bit, looks like. Get off. And no, just one ring on this one. Might have been a double thick or something like that. You can get this extra waxy. So, like I said, here's the fun part. Just scraping, cleaning, get this stuff off, and we'll get ready for the new one. Now these bolts here, they are also the ones I can tell right now that are screwed into the subflooring, which is fine because it's a wooden floor, but I will just remove them probably and put in the bolts that came with the new toilet, just because you kind of want new sometimes, replace the old stuff. Might be corroded, might have poo on it or something. Alright, then meanwhile while I'm working on that, I'll also work on scrubbing up some of this older silicone. I'm going to try to get a flat surface, and believe it or not, I will eventually bust down with some bleach cleaner type thing and clean all the way around here, right? Because it's just a little nasty. You're dealing with toilets. Well, maybe it's not nasty, I don't know. Alright, get back to the new one soon. Oh, meanwhile, since this is totally gone, I'll be slapping on some paint on these walls. What we got today is a one piece, kind of like that. There's the Primo elongated, model number SW07959 by Jacuzzi, right? So it makes bubbles and stuff. And it's, like I said, a one piece toilet. Here we got some instruction manual over there. Also came with this toilet. Everything came with it. So you have a wax ring. This is what a new one looks like. Yummy, right? This is looks like it could be a standard one. Then we got here some bolts, T-bolts, metal washer. We got this plastic thing here, which is a retaining deal for these bolts. You'll put these bolts in, then you'll put these in. I'll show you later. And then the tricky part is, in the package that comes with the toilet seat, there's these parts here, your caps and these other holders. And I believe they do that part so it matches the color, if you have different colors and stuff. And so we'll go over there and we'll start by putting in the bolts. Take these guys here, and we'll waltz on over to here, to where we got the business hole still open. And yes, this room has been well vented. There's gases that come from down below and come out from there, and every once in a while you get a little whiff of it, but it goes out the window for the most part. So it's going to be kind of hard to see here maybe, but there we go. There's little notch grooves there. And so the bolts go in, something like this here. Put them there, and they're supposed to be across here parallel to the wall, the back wall. Basically, you want them across from each other for sure. Once we got it, then we got these retaining deals. They'll just come right over the top, press down. Excuse me. All right. So we got that part. Next we'll get to is the toilet. And there it is, one piece. And yeah, a little bit heavier than a standard toilet. Well, I should say it's two piece. Maybe there's, this is also elongated, it's a little bigger. But so down here in the back, what we got down here is the water inlet, which is pre-installed. This thing here can come away. I don't know if it's just a thread guard. We'll take a look at it here. That might just be for a thread guard. And make sure that's tight. I might come back to that later, but I think that's trash. And then over here, this way here, in case you're wondering, is your air gap. So once water gets here, it falls down. But it should be like, where the bowl is in this part here, it keeps water so gases don't come out and stink at your house. Right. And that's where the stuff goes down the drain. Now this thing here, take your wax ring and just gonna pry out this little cubby hole there, and then you take the plastic off of it. You don't need this plastic on it, but I'm gonna do like this. Try to keep it clean, as in my hands. Yeah. And what this does is you press it over that hole. So wax side up, and you got the spout part here going down. Try to line it right up over the middle of it, and get a little press. Don't worry, when you put this thing over the toilet, wax is slippery. Maybe, instead of this way, I'm just going to put it on the hole. Let's see here. So we're back here, and wax ring will go right over here. And then I center it up on that hole. So in theory, I can put it on there and push it all down together. Don't lift back up, just leave it down. And then we'll put the nuts on after that. Now comes the heavy part of the model. What's going to go down next is, besides the toilet down there, is this plastic flange thing here. And if you look real close there, you can see there's actually a flange at the top. That's how it should be, right? You don't want it upside down, because then your caps won't go back on it. So it's going to go the toilet, then this, then metal washers, and nuts. All right. So now we just need someone to lift this and place it on the donut. But I had a donut this morning. It was good too. Chocolate chip donut. Anyways, right. So here we go. Put this right there, and grab toilet. You might want 2 people to do this. Maybe not. I don't know. And give it a lift. Now then, you want to have it right over the center as much as possible, because you don't want to mess up the wax at all. One side, 2 side. Nice and sinking down side. And by golly, this toilet is heavy enough that it smashed that wax real quick. So, plastic one on here, metal one, and this nut. Like I said, I'm not going to lift it up for nothing right now. And I want to slightly snug it. I actually want to snug it down. The floor here is pretty level. Otherwise, you can grab a level and go to the top of the tank here, or the seat, and double make sure it's level. And if it needs leveling, you need some shims. I'd suggest some, maybe you could use wood, but I'd suggest maybe plastic, something like a stronger shim. I've even seen people use pennies to shim up your stuff. So there we go for that. And I will take a wrench and just tighten just a little bit more. Yeah, that trap will go on. We'll have to saw it down some. Now don't over tighten these, because you could crack it or break your flange. Alright. And the other side too. Okay, now I would suggest not moving it too much. There, I got a little bit adjusted, just a little bit more maybe. There. Giving it a twist is not bad, lifting it up is bad. So, we got that on there, and I tightened the bolt ever so slightly some more, but I would not sit on this yet. Right, next job. No, not down there yet. Back here. So we got the water valve, we got the water line, and we got the inlet there. So, this right here, we'll take let's take a look at it. Yeah, it looks fine. And it should screw on this plastic thing. Hopefully it's all standard threadings. Otherwise we'll have to figure something out. Hope you guys can see that. I can't see nothing from this angle. Oh, stowaway. Okay, this right here looks like it's something to do with the other piece. Anything else here? Ah, ta-da! This comes out. And I think that's it. Now it should go on there. Yeah. Plastic and plastic, so be careful not to cross through anything. Like that. All right. There. I think it's going on. Don't cross threading, it feels good. Snug up against that conical washer inside. And then we should be able to put the water on. And check for leaks as it fills up. Here we go. Ooh. Down, boy. Okay, it feels dry. Down here, slowly filling up the bowl. Also, back up in here, let's fill up the tank too. Okay, well, this fills up, and that's a small one. Look at that, one-handed, right? And this one here has a press 1 for yes and 2 for no. No. A little button over here for number 1s, and a bigger button for number 2s, if you know what that means. And all they do is they have some actuators that they go down to the corresponding colors on top of that there. See? So this here basically just fits on top. And I would say go ahead and push a 1. Now, let me see, maybe you want to see the toilet tank. I'm going to hit the 1 button. Alright, yeah. Not bad. Has a small surface water area, it looks like. But we'll see if it does keep going up. That could be adjusted too. Sometimes they have adjustments on the pumps in the back to make a bigger surface area. Next we'll do is number 2. Oh yeah, that definitely was more. Alright, so now it's important to get the air bubbles out and test out, make sure it works. The other thing we're trying to do is check down here, around there, just make sure there's no liquid leaking out from there. Best to find leaking liquids now before they come out dirty leaking liquids. So what we got next is the seat that's strong. You have a parts packet like this here for that. Came with the seat itself. And plastic can go away. Looks like you have this these fancy little things here, and you've got the seat itself here. See that? Now, from what I can tell, we're going to need a tool on this. So let me find a tool. Okay, I didn't want to need a tool because guess what? We have these rods here, threaded rods, bolts, and they're going to go through there. So what I do is on the bottom here, you see, you just put it into that hole and push out this cap and this other washer. Right, the cap I'll set aside, and heck, I'll shut the washer aside too. So what we'll do from the get-go here is we'll take the seat, and we'll take these rubberized things here, and on the bottom, you know, one basically fits in like so. Press it in there, and one fits in here. So there's like a tab here that fits in there, like so. Then, hopefully without making these fall out, we'll flip upside down or right side up and put these holes over the holes down there for the seat mounting. Right, so there. Really don't want to fall in the toilet, that's for sure. Alright. You can tell now it's a quiet closer. Okay, so kind of push them down, hold them down a little bit. Then what we got next is from the, I grab an assembly here. We'll take the washer that went in the back part there. Looks something like this. Right, has a flange part. Once again, goes in like that. So this flange on the top here stays up. This part here goes down the bottom of the hole. Let's see here. Let's get in here, right? Okay, so flange part up, goes back in here. Then we got our bolt, nylon bolt probably. That goes in through there, all the way through the bottom. And then underneath that, we got this nylon washer here, and a nylon nut. It's going to be threaded up from the bottom, so it's going to be washer, then nut. And this is where a big screwdriver might come in handy. When you get this down, you might want to screw the top part just a little bit more. 5 hours later. Alright, so there, we got that snuggish. And we'll reset to get the other side in there. Okay, so like one last final adjustment here, kind of. You gotta lift the top part of the lid open, and you just check it out to make sure it's where you want it. I can tell right now, this needs to be shifted a little bit there, and a little bit back. Right like so, I'm gonna say. That there seems to be in alignment, right? You can get in the middle there. And so I'll carefully close this top one here, and then with the, very carefully, with a big screwdriver type of thing, like I said before, I'll zoom in here and snug down these bolts. You can barely see it there. But make sure I don't move the lid any. Put that in there, hold this underneath it, and give it some tightening. Instead of be over strength, you know, snug them down real good. Oh, block that on me, huh? Then, after you get that nice and snug, you have the top cap, which, need more lighting in here. You have the top cap, which will basically just go back on and cover this whole assembly up. There, keep it hopefully nice and clean down there. Alright, do the other one, and that there is just about done. In fact, that's done with the most installation. Next we'll do is run some caulking around the base of this to keep it more stable and to kind of keep leaks out from the front. Don't caulk the back so it can leak out the back at least. But Yeah, let me get the caulking gun. What becomes of that there stud hanging up there is you get yourself a metal cutting saw blade or something like that. You know, Dremel cutoff wheel, whatever, and just you know, go to town on it. Like so, until you cut it off, and then you can put the cap over it. Let me show you here. That's how I cut it with a saw. Alright, so there's a cut off there. Now basically the cap just goes right on top. Give it a little dusting, or you get the piece out there. And the cap should go in here and snap down a little bit on that plastic washer. Like so. And then do the same to the other side. And now, I have yet to find or meet a toilet to where if you tighten that bottom assembly down too much, which is really easy to do, that it doesn't smash that bottom washer. Like I said, that's not really made to secure the toilet in my mind. What will help though is some 100% silicone caulking. So you just want to take your gun here, probably 1/8 of an inch tip, and let's see here, get this plug out of there, and just run a bead of it right between the, you know, the base here and in this case linoleum. Make sure, you know, the floor is clean and all. So I'm going to get back in here and caulk away. And depending on how good you are with this instrument, sometimes you just do it and leave it like that. Other times you want to run a finger along it to pack it in a little bit more and give it a better look. Nice smooth look there. Alright, so we'll continue this on the other side. And this caulking silicone will, you know, keep stuff from leaching under there and leaching out of there. So that's why you don't do it in the back. So if you want to check for leaks between the toilet and the flange, it should be in between the toilet and the flange that it's sitting on. It should be leaking from the back. So if you have any questions, comments, leave them below. This is Oddjob Viewer. Thanks for watching. And this here one-piece toilet install is finished. Toodaloos.